Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, afternoon. How are you?
I thank you, sir.
All right. Your people are not here.
I'm trying to get them to join.
That's fine.
So is it okay with that? I think others will join along the way.
Then we can start now.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's fine. All right. So where did we stop last week?
We stopped at cleaning up. So we had done 2 exercises on data cleaning.
Okay.
Yeah. Power
Right.
BI.
Yeah. So we are we are okay with data cleaning, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think there were 3 files I sent us, right?
Yes, there was a
Yeah.
Netflix file.
Okay. Netflix. Okay.
That one seemed more complicated.
Netflix, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say, for example, well, let me open the income statement first. Let's look at it. So sometimes when you are cleaning data, right? Remember in analytics, you talk about the domain knowledge, isn't it? So sometimes when cleaning the data, you will need domain knowledge to actually clean it, right? Such as the income statement. You know, the income statement has its own unique way of presenting it, right? It must follow a particular order.
Yes.
Do you remember the format of an income statement? You know the format of the income statement. What items do we have there?
Do you mean revenue?
Yes, revenue,
Cost of goods,
cost of sales,
gross profit,
gross profit, yes,
administration
Interest.
expenses,
the admin expense, right?
um, depreciation, other expenses, to be honest.
Okay, let's take it as operating expenses, you know.
Operating
You
expenses.
like to get your operating income, right? Your operating income,
Okay,
then which you can
Well,
call,
tax and interest.
yes, your operating profit or earnings before interest and tax, right? Then you remove your taxes, then you have profit after tax, okay? So you have a particular order in which it should follow, okay? Which means that when you want to clean this also, it has to follow that order, okay? So you must have at the back of your mind how it should look like, because this is no longer just a normal table, right? But this is how a financial statement should look like. But we want to transform it to the way we want to analyze it, right? So where do we start this cleaning from? Where do we start cleaning from now?
Excuse me, which file is this? I'm not sure I have
This
this.
is the Netflix now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
This is the Netflix. Because sometimes when you see it like this, you don't even know where to start from, right? It looks so unorganized. All right, so where do we start this cleaning from now? And you know the structure it should look like, isn't it? You already have an idea of the structure it should look like, right? So if we follow those our rules, right? What are those rules? Just remember our rules.
One row of header.
One row of head. Do we have one row of header here? Do we have one row of header?
No.
I'm not
So
sure.
where's will our one row of header be?
I think it's on the column.
You have on
The
the
first column.
column.
So which one will be the row header now? Which one should be the row header?
First column.
The first column. This one,
Yes.
Yes.
is that a header?
No, it's not the header, but I'm saying that that's where
One row of header. So which row will be our header?
That's the one that has the date,
Okay, the one that has the dates, right? From here,
December, March, yes.
isn't it from there? Good. Okay. So we need one row of header now. But you see the way it is, so many blanks and so many stuff. So what do we now need to start doing? Which are the low-hanging fruits we can start taking out?
Remove empty columns.
Which one is empty columns?
If there.
Okay,
Like
this one.
column 4 is empty, column 3 is empty.
Okay, like these ones are empty, right?
Mhm.
You want to take that out, okay. What again?
How do you know rows that are empty?
Huh?
How do you recognize empty rows?
How do we recognize? Who can help us? How do we recognize empty rows?
Oh, you have the null.
You see null beginning to the end. Can I see that beginning to the end? You see null. But if you
But
have,
I'm just wondering why,
yeah,
because the under column, right, it says 100%, but for rows, imagine if you have a long,
yes.
does that mean that you have to start scrolling to look through? I'm just wondering, is there any alternative route?
Can you like filter the column to see if there are other components? Then if you see it's just null, you know it's null all the way.
Right. No, that's for the column. He's talking about the row, assuming it was so long, right? That you're not even sure. So that's why even before you even look at it, you must first of all understand the data first, right? And now I say sometimes when you look at it, your domain knowledge will not help you understand it, what should be there and what should not be there, right? So if we look at this one more like headings. You know, in financial statement, you say maybe the company name there was Netflix, is it not? You now say statement of profit or loss or consolidated income statement, is it not? So all these are just like headings, right? They are just like headings in the income statement. All right. So these ones we may not necessarily need them, is it not? So we can take off the first three. We can take off these first three rules, right? These first three rules, isn't it? So I can take out consolidated, unaudited, then in thousands. I think that one can go, right? That can go. What else?
No, but it's in thousands not important. So people are aware that the values they are
Yeah,
not.
that one you can write it wherever you want now.
Okay.
You can write it wherever you want. What again can we do? We can merge these two columns now. Can you see that? So that they can just become like one item. So we can merge these two columns. Let's see. Can you see that now?
okay.
So it's just in one place like this. Right? What again can we do? What again can we do?
Get rid of the empty columns.
Yes, we can remove the empty columns. We can remove the empty columns, okay? What else can we do? What else can we do? Yes?
Can we promote the headers now?
So which one will be the headers now?
I think we can. We would have been able to merge the year and the months together.
You want to merge the year and the month together, isn't it?
Yes.
So how do we do that now?
Merge.
So you want to merge the month and the year together,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yes.
Merge rule. Is there a way you can
Let's
merge?
go.
Is there anything like merge rules?
I don't know. That.
Remember, Power BI works with columns. Remember that.
Yeah. So do we?
Mhm,
Few.
So is this one
No,
on pivoting? This is already on pivot. This is already like a pivot data now.
Yeah.
So yes, what we can do, we can take from here to the end, right? Then we
Yes.
can transpose. Can you see that? When we transpose, can you see what it looks like now?
Okay.
Do you
Please,
see
can you
that?
repeat?
Okay. Okay.
This is. Can you see data like this?
Yes.
So what we can do, highlight the first column to the last column, is it not? Then we'll come here and transpose. Can you see that? So when we transpose now, it takes those rows to columns. Is it not? It takes the rows to columns. Did I select everything? Let me check. Okay, take from here to the end and transpose. Okay.
But this is not the format of income statement.
Yes, now. So
Okay,
what we want to do,
transpose back.
we want to take these two, is it not? And merge them.
Yes.
Merge columns, is it not?
Yes.
And then transpose back.
Merge ahead, they will now transpose it back. Is it?
Okay.
They will now transpose back again.
No, but there was an okay. Before you transpose, I think there was an empty. There was a
Yes, now, but you cannot touch that one yet.
okay.
You just only want to merge them and transpose them. Can you see that we have merged them now?
Yes.
Isn't it? We have merged them now.
How did you transpose back?
Look at now. So see, can you see we have it like this now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will first pick the entire column here, right? I want to select what I want to, so I come here and transpose. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is what we have done now. We now have the months, we now have the year,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So I'll take these two and merge it. Merge columns. I'll say okay, isn't it? Is that what we did?
Mm-hmm.
So that we merge. So you're talking about this empty column, is it not? Don't touch it yet. But if you want to remove, you can, but just to have, so we want to take it back to the original distance. So I just leave it there and transpose. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I've transposed it back. Can you see that?
Okay.
So now that it has been transposed, now what else can we clean again? These 3 months ended now. Now, please take note to look at this data very well. What kind of data is this? Look at the data very well. Because that 3 months is giving you an indication of
It's
something.
quarterly.
Is what?
A quarterly.
It's a quarterly report, is it not? It's a quarterly report, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you know, normally in the quarterly report, it means it's 3 months, is it not? First 3 months, that is January to March, that's first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not? Then you have April, is it April to June? second quarter,
Yes.
is it not? Then you have what? July to what? September, third quarter, is it not? Then
Mm-hmm.
you have October to December, fourth quarter. Can you see that? Then now you also have 12 months ended. So what does that mean? 2018, 12 months ended. What does that mean?
1 year.
It means this is what? Annual, and this is what? Quarterly.
Quarterly.
Is it not? Which is better for us, to work with annual or quarterly?
Annual.
Annual. Okay. But remember, the sum of your quarter will give you the annual,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So we can further break down analysis by quarters.
Hmm.
But if I have left it in annual, it's not going to give me any, I cannot get anything in the quarters.
Yeah.
You see that?
Okay. Okay.
So in that case, it is quarters that we need. We don't need this annual. Do you see that? So 12 months ended, that means it's annual. I don't need it. I will remove it. Isn't it? Because I can add 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will give me my annual,
Yes.
right? So same thing with your March. So March 2019, June 2019 to December 2019. They now have 12 months ended 2019. I don't need this. Clear?
Okay.
Then for this, we have 3 months ended March, 3 months ended June, 3 months ended September, but 9 months ended September. What does that mean?
Six
That's
and a half months.
It's not yet a year, is it not? But
Yes.
this is the
Sorry, it's not.
definition of everything there, so I don't need this. Can you see that now?
Yes.
So in that case, all these 3 months, I can take them out. 3 months ended, I can take it out. Is that not it?
Okay.
Right? So can we promote headers now?
Yes.
So what this will show you that sometimes even that promoting headers is not as straightforward as it is. You know, you need to know what needs to be there. So that's our first. So we can even take this null. So let's check the null. Those nulls, can we remove them? Now, if you check it, now, right? So let's look at it. So if you remember the rules, so let's state the rules, right? How the table should look like. So first row of header, what again? One row of header, what again? Yes, what are the rules for your table structure?
One row of header, no empty rows, no
No empty
spaces.
rows, right? Do we still have empty rows? Yes, we have 1 or 2 empty rows there. So if I take out this blank, I think that should take care of that. What again?
No total of subtotal.
No total of, now look at no to, so do we have total here? Do we have any total here? Or subtotal?
I think we removed it. Abi.
Do we have total or subtotal here?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have any total or subtotal here?
Can't see any.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, which ones?
Can I say net income?
Net income, right? What comprises of net income?
I think income before income taxes minus taxes.
Good. So you see, when you talk about total or subtotal, you see where domain knowledge will now help you now to now know which is subtotal. Before we would have just seen total and we just see a subtotal, but now it is your domain knowledge that will help you identify what is a subtotal. Is it not? So which means, if you remember the format for a financial, right? Where we have revenue, you have cost of sales. What will it give us?
Gross profit.
What profit, is it not? Less what? We can have maybe other income. less operating profits, operating expenses, right? The difference will give us what? Operating profit, is it not? Or which we can call what? EBIT, right?
Mm.
We can remove what now? Interest, is it not?
Yeah.
So to give us what? Profit before tax, is it not? Then we can remove tax. It will give us what? Profit after tax. So what are the subtotals you are seeing here now? Or this is what you call your net income. So what are the totals you can see here now? What are the subtotals?
Gross profit,
Gross profit is a subtotal.
operating profit,
Operating profit is subtotal.
profit
Profit
before,
before tax,
Is a subtotal.
profit
And
after tax.
Profit after tax, is it not? So what we only want is just the data, because all these computations we can actually do them, isn't it? It's just only the data we need. So that is why at this point here, we are going to remove what now? What are we removing?
net income,
Net income. So I can remove net income.
operating income,
Operating income. I don't need operating income.
in profit before
Income before
income
tax,
before in tax, yeah.
right? Okay. So
Mm.
let's take that out. Good. Maybe all this earnings per share and dividend per share, let's take them out so that we don't complicate it. Here's my earnings per share, diluted basic. Okay.
Weighted average.
So does it now follow the order now? So revenue, cost of sale, marketing, admin. So this other income expense, we don't have anything there, so we can take that out. Other income expenses. Good. So yes. All right, good. So we have that. So what's next? What's next thing to do? So let me call this one items. Income statement items. Okay. What's next thing to do?
close one out, sorry.
Yeah.
Close one out, sorry.
What's the next thing we need to do?
The formats.
Are we going to take into consideration dates on a column?
So start out and say what's next thing to do now?
The format of the dates. Convert them to dates.
Yeah, but we cannot just convert it to dates now, like that. There's something you need to do first. And what is that?
You need to change it type
On pivots.
You what?
on pivot.
On pivots.
Pivots, is it not?
Yeah.
On pivot columns, is it not? So here I can now change it to what? Dates.
Dates.
Is it not? So I call it dates. Then here I'll call it maybe amounts. Amounts, and we're done. Does it not look proper now? You can start.
Yeah, it does. I have a question.
Yeah.
Why must you on pivot? Who says this thing must be in this format?
All right. Who said it must be in that format? So you want it to be like this, is it not?
I'm just wondering why it can't be this way.
am just saying now. So you want it like this, right?
Yes.
All right. So let's go and walk and see. So when you want to build, so you want to see a trend, right? If you want to build a trend line, let's see. So let's say we want to build so we want to see a trend of it, isn't it?
Mhm.
So what will be your x-axis? What will be your y-axis?
You want to see a trend of what against what?
Exactly. So let's say you want to see the revenue
Mm-hmm.
for the quarters from 2018 to 2020.
You can do revenue against time.
So where is it now?
Use this. I don't understand.
Where's the revenue here now? Where is the revenue? And which time are you going to take?
Mm. Okay, I get it.
Do you see it now?
Yeah.
So you see, it's usually not feasible to work with what pivot data in that way. Okay, so we'll go back, transform. Okay, so this was the one we let me delete that. So we have to go back and pivot it. So we have here dates. We have here amount. Okay. So let's close and apply. Close and apply. Now, if you look at it now, you can now see, for example, so these are income statement items. Then let's take our dates. So let's take by what now? Is it by quarter we want? Okay, let me just leave by year first. Take that out, take that out. Okay. Then let's take the amount and put it there. So which ones don't we want now? I think we can filter it by what? We can add the slicer. Here's our slicer here. So in our slicer, we'll pick the income statement items there. So we want just revenues. Okay. So I think we can reduce that. Maybe we can take just the revenues. Okay. Okay, slicer settings. So there's our slicer settings. More options. Looking for where the slicer settings. Formats. Okay. Slicer settings, so we can make that a drop down. Okay, good. So you see, when they were unpivoted, it will be much more difficult for us to analyze, is it not? So that's why you see the advantage of unpivoting. So you can come here, cost of sales, interest, what have you. Okay. All right, so that's just basically it. So normally we would have taken our income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement. Then we'll now try and connect all of them together. All right. So this is going to lead us to our topic on data modeling. All right, data modeling. But as time goes on, anything we see to clean, we'll always look for data that we need to clean, right? But at least we have shown you quite a number of ways to what clean your what data. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
These charts you just built, are you going to show us how to do it? So,
We're not yet in visualization yet now.
okay, no problem.
We are going step by step.
Okay.
We'll do a project where we'll do everything together, but we need to just break it down. How we have shown you how to import data, is it not, from different sources? CSV, Excel, database, website, is it not?
Yes.
I've shown you how to clean data. Is it not? How to clean and transform your data. Is it not? Now, the
Yes.
next aspect we are going to into data modeling. How do you model your data? Okay, so that's the next thing we need to do today. Data modeling. But in case we have any data that we need to clean, you can bring it up and we can look at it together. Because there are some data that you even know where to start from. Okay, so let's go back to that, our Superstore. Let's see Superstore. Yes, Superstore. So can you see the Superstore data? Can you see the Superstore data? Am I sharing my screen? My Excel screen?
Yes.
Yes, you can see.
Okay. So normally, in practice, you don't always get the data in one place like this, right? Most times, somebody that will have gotten the data and given it to you, right? So this is all referred to as a flat file, okay? But in practice, this data comes from different sources. You know, they come from where? Different sources, which will now bring it together. All right, before we start analyzing, right? So we need to learn how to see separate data, how to separate this type of data. Okay. So that leads us to what they refer to as data modeling. Data modeling. Okay. And in your data modeling, you can see your data we can break our data into two parts, right? We have what they call our There are two parts: facts table and what we call dimension table and dimensions. Okay, you have the facts and you have the dimension. So this fact table, and we have what they call the dimension table. Okay. All right, so maybe we'll do it this way. So if we look at it this way, can we see how we can group this table? Let's look at how we can group this table. Which tables or which columns can we take together and they can stand on their own? That they can stand on their own. Let's say, for example, let's look at this. Sales, quantity, profits. Can they stand on their own?
No.
So if I take this one, let me take this and come and paste it here. Does this make any sense to be on its own?
No.
Right? Doesn't make any sense, right? Good. So let's say, for example, let's look at customer. Let's look at customer, for example. What can go together for customers? So customer ID, customer name, segments, right? Can he stand on his own?
Yes.
Can it stand on its own?
Yes.
Yes, so this is going to be called what? Your customer table, isn't it? Customer, okay, let's say customers, right? Let's look at another one now. Let's say country, city, state, postal code, region. Can it stand on its own?
No.
Yes.
So let's take it on a new sheet and check.
Oh yeah, it can.
Can it stand on its own?
Yes.
It can.
Right? So this can be called geography. Right? It can stand on its own, isn't it? Let's look at another one. Okay, let's say product ID, category, subcategory, product name. Can it stand on its own?
Yes.
Can it stand on its own? Right? So this
Mhm.
we call it product. You see that? Let's look at this other one now. Let's say row ID or order ID, order date, ship mode. Can it stand on its own? Can it stand on its own?
Yes. Ship mode, ship date. Yes.
So this can stand on
Order
its own, you know.
Yes.
They can stand on their own, you know, good. But you see, this your sales quantity discount now, who can it stand with? Because it can't stand on its own, is it not?
Stand with customer.
Stand with customer.
It can stand with customer, right? But if you look at for the customer alone, right? If you bring it here, it can stand with the customers. isn't
Yes.
it? But we're going to also see that most times for your customers, right? You only want the details of the customer alone, not the transaction itself.
Okay.
Do you get that? Not the transaction itself, just the details about the customer. So that's why when you have your order ID, order date, ship mode, we can what? Merge it with this, is it not?
Yes.
Because this one, the transaction of that order,
Yeah.
is it not? We can get the details of it, which we can now link with our customer table, isn't it?
Yes.
Good. So this one can be called your orders table, right? Okay, let's say order. This is called order. So let me take that out. So what have we done? We see we have broken this table, right, into smaller tables, is it not? So I've broken it into customer table, product table, geography table, and what? Order table, isn't it? So we have broken them into 4 parts.
Yes.
So in breaking it into the 4 parts, what we can now do, we now have what they call, this is the orders table, right? Orders table. We can connect it with what? The customer table. Okay. We can connect it with what? The product table. Is it not? And we can connect it with what? The geography what? Table. Do you see that?
Sorry, quick question. What are we using to connect it to all these tables?
Yes, so that's we're going to next now to that. So let's look at it now, right? Let's look at it. If you see your customer table, is it not? What is the unique identifier there?
Customer ID.
Customer ID is the unique identity. So that's the primary key, is it not?
Yes.
Mhm.
So let's break it like this. So this is our cost. So this is our customer table. We have our product table. We have our geography table. Good. Here we have customer ID.
Mhm.
Customer ID. We have customer name. And we have all the segments, isn't it?
Segment.
Of this, which is the unique identifier there?
Customer ID.
Customer IDs, you know. So customer ID here is referred to as what?
Primary key.
The primary word key, isn't it? That is the primary word key. Now let's look at product table. So let me take this one. let's go to product table. So let's look at product table. What do we have under product table now? So under products, we have what?
Product ID.
Product ID. We have
Category.
category.
Subcategory.
We have subcategory.
Product name.
We have what? Product
Name.
name. What is the unique identifier in that table?
Product ID.
Product ID. Product ID, is it not? Now let's go to geography. And now check geography table. So under geography table, what do we have?
Country.
We have what? Country, okay.
City.
Country, city,
States.
states,
Postal code.
postal code,
And region.
and region. Which is unique identifier there? What is the unique identifier there?
They all have duplicates. That's unique. Postal code.
What should be the unique identifier there?
Postal code.
Okay, it should be postal code, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take postal code a bit. Let's take it up there, right? And so if you say postal codes, right? If you say postal code, now let's now look at something here. Now, what we have broken down our customer table, product table, and geographic table, isn't it? This is what we refer to as the dimensions, right? The dimension. So what are we doing here? We are breaking it down further, right? So let's say, for example, maybe sales have been declining, right? You want to ask the question, why is sales declining? So you want to what? Dimension it, is it not? Into what? Who? Is it not? What? When? Where? Do you see that? Who, what, when? So who is buying? What are they buying? When are they buying? Where are they buying? Can you see that? So we are breaking them into different dimensions. So question of who is buying, which table will answer this question?
Customer table.
Your customer table, isn't it? Your customer table. What are they buying?
Product table.
Product table, isn't it? Your product table. When are they buying?
Order.
When are they buying? Which table should answer this one? When are they
Order.
buying? Order, okay, but basically it's your date table.
Yeah. Okay.
It's what they call calendar table. Okay. Where are they buying?
Geography.
Geo.
Eh?
Geo.
Location or geography table, is it not? Is that not it?
Yeah.
Good. So these are referred to as what? Dimensions. And in your dimension table, you cannot have any duplicates there. Do you get that? You can't have any what? Duplicates. Because it must be
What do you mean by duplicates?
duplicate now. So look at, can you see this? Postal code. Can you see postal code, postal code? Do you see that? So we are expected to just only have one postal code to refer to one thing.
Okay.
If you come to product ID, we should just only have one. So if I check, are there duplicates here? Do we have duplicates here? Duplicates. Okay, let me just identify the duplicates first. Duplicate value. Do we have duplicates here?
Yes.
Yes. Are we expected to have duplicates?
No.
No. So what do we do?
Take out duplicates.
You remove what? The duplicates. Isn't it? You remove what? The duplicates. So if we take out the duplicates, okay, products. Okay. So we have removed the duplicates now, right? So everything here is unique. Do you see that? Everything here now is what's unique. So if I check now, do we have any duplicates here? Check for duplicate values. So you see there's no duplicates here.
Yes.
Can you see that? So your dimension tables have no duplicates. If I come to customer now, do we have duplicates for customers? Do you have duplicates here for customers?
Yes,
Yes.
Do we have duplicates?
No.
yes,
No.
sorry.
Eh? Do we
Yes,
have
we do.
duplicates in the customer table?
Yes.
We shouldn't have duplicates.
Okay, if you say yes, tell us why. If you say no, tell us why.
No, I mean we have duplicates currently. I'm not saying
Okay, currently, yes, we have, right? But should we have it in the table?
No.
No, is it not? Because in that table, it must be unique, is it not?
Yes.
Mhm.
What unique? All right, so that's why we have to remove what? The duplicates. Okay, we remove what? The duplicates. Remove duplicates. So here I want to remove the duplicates. Okay, so that one is clear. We have removed. Now let's go to geography now. All right. Here we are also seeing duplicates here, is it not? We also
Yes.
see duplicates here. Now, what do we say that is the primary key here? What do we say that is the primary key?
Postal code.
Postal code. You say postal code is primary key.
Yes.
Now, let's check. So let's say smallest to largest, right? Smallest to largest. Now, so if we look at it now, right? So we are seeing duplicates here. Duplicates here, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, and is it possible that two cities can share the same postal code?
Yes. So
Is it possible?
Two cities can
Yes.
share.
two cities. No.
No,
No. What about states? What about states?
no,
No.
States is not possible.
no.
From what we can see, no.
From what we can see, right? From what we can see, you said no, right? So that's why you see that, for example, New Jersey, right? You have East Orange, New Jersey, 7017.
Yeah.
The same New Jersey,
7011.
is it not?
Yes.
You now see Orange, right?
Yes.
So let's continue. So let's say, for example, okay, look at New York now, right? So New York now we are seeing from what? 1009, isn't it?
Yes.
New York City, right? New York City, 1009. You see the same New York City, we are seeing what?
Yes.
10011.
Yes.
Can you see that? Let's go. The same New York City, 10024.
Yes.
Can you see that? So can we say now that postal code is a unique identifier?
No.
No.
So that is why sometimes you also need to be very careful. What may look like a unique identifier may not actually be unique. Can you see this now? The same New York City now, you are seeing another state now, is it not? So in that case, postal code may not necessarily be the word unique word identifier. So in database, did you talk about composite key?
Yeah.
You talked about it, right?
Mm.
Where you cannot merge two primary keys to now give you a unique key. So for example, in this case, we can now merge, let's say, let me insert one here. So I can take my postal code there, is it not?
Yes.
I can take postal code there. So it means these two, I want to merge them together. Right? So let me call it city code. Right? So it can maybe, you know how to concat?
Yes.
Either I can just say this and this, right? And I run it down. Can you see that now? Then I'll now come here and now remove the duplicates here. So I'll now come here. Let's say, okay. So I only need for city code. Okay, so I've removed for city code. Now this will be unique. So what's my primary key here now?
City code.
is my city code. Do you see that now? So city code is now my what? Primary what? Key. I hope you understand what's going on here.
Yes.
Hello,
Huh?
so you merged this because there were two different cities that had the same code. if I
Yes.
understand correctly.
Yes,
So you are now
exactly.
merging it to
To
create
now make
a
them
unique
unique,
code.
yes. To now make them unique. Okay, do not make them unique. So that is for our dimension table, right? That's for our dimension table. Now, if we look at the other table, which is now our what? Fact table, right? And our fact table is what? The orders table. That's where we have our transactions now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what you call the fact table, where you have your what? Transactions. So if we look at it, so our fact table is what? Orders table, is it not? And what do we have in orders table? So let me copy all this out. Okay, good. So in this table, we have order ID, we have order ID, we have what?
Ship
Order
dates.
dates,
Order dates. Ship dates.
ship dates,
Ship
we have
mode,
ship mode, we have sales, we have what?
quantity,
Quantity,
discount.
discount, and we have what? Profits. What is our primary key here?
Order ID.
Order ID, primary key. Now, somebody now asks a question. What is now the relationship between customer table and orders table? What's the relationship?
Is the order.
Is what?
Customer and other.
So I
Is
will need
order.
to what? Because as they are now, there's no connection.
Mhm.
You know, so to connect them, I will need the primary key from here. Is it not? I will need
Yes.
the primary key from here. So I can distinguish it, right? From product ID, I will need the primary key here. From
Okay.
geography, I will need the primary key here. Is it not? So this one is now referred to as what? A foreign key, isn't
Yeah.
it? Now a foreign key. Can you now see there will be a relationship?
Yes.
So that is what we have drawn here. So that line you are seeing here is the relationship. And what kind of relationship is it? A one to what? Many relationship. One, can you see that one? One means in this table it is unique. But here it can occur what? Many times. That means one customer can buy multiple times.
Yes.
Is it not? You can buy a particular product many times. Is it not? You can buy from a location many times, right? So this is one to many, one to many. So whenever you are building, so what you have done here, you see this diagram here is called a star schema. It's called what? A star schema, which shows the relationship between what? Your dimension table and your what? Fact table. So this your dimension table is where you are asking the questions, is it not? Of who, what, when, where. This your fact table is where the answer is. This is where the answer is it not? That is where you want to understand who is buying, is it not? You look at it by sales. Where are they buying? You can check by sales, quantity, or profits. When are they buying? Is it not? So this is what they refer to as what? The star schema. And it's also referred to as what? A data model. In database, what they will refer to this as, they will call it entity relationship diagram. Entity relationship diagram, or you hear star schema, or you hear what? Data model. So they are all concepts that what relate to what? The relationship among your what tables. So the moment you see tables, right, you need to ask yourself, how are these two tables connected? So you are looking for the relationship. Because if you remember that in your SQL, you know, we talked about what? Relational database. You will remember that
Yes.
Relational database, right? Relational database. And what you are expecting is to see a one-to-many relationship, because we can have different types of we can have a one-to-one relationship. We can have what? A many-to-many relationship. We can have a one-to-many relationship and a many-to-one relationship. Now, this one-to-many or many-to-one, they are basically the same thing, right? But what we don't want to see is a many-to-many or one-to-one, right? One-to-one means the way it matches here is exactly the way it matches there. So in that case, you can just merge them together now. It makes no sense. They can stay on their own. Many-to-many means you cannot see the relationship here. There's nothing there. So it's just like a many-to-many. There's no actual relationship. It's only in some few instances you may want to do that, but whenever you are doing the analysis, you cannot rely on it because you don't know what is carrying for you. So all you want to see is to ensure that what you see what a one-to-many what relationship. Okay, a one-to-many what relationship. Is that okay? So
What of
let's
a
try
many-to-one relationship?
yeah?
What of a many-to-one relationship?
Yes, one-to-many and many-to-one, they are the same thing. One-to-one, many-to-one, they are basically the same thing. So the only difference is the direction that is coming from. Is that okay? So we'll try and build this now in. So let's say, for example, how well do you sell when it rains? Is it not? How well do you sell when it rains? What kind of data do you require? How well do you sell when it rains?
When you need dates.
You need what?
Dates.
Dates,
Yes.
okay.
Then your sales as well.
You need your sales.
And then location.
How well you sell when it rains, okay? Location.
Then quantity.
Quantity. Any other thing? How well you sell when it rains. Yes, what again do you need? So what again do you need? Because with your understanding of data modeling, right? You see, you can actually see seemingly unrelated data. That means they look like two different things, but somehow there's a relationship. And sometimes that's where you actually see some insights, right? Some things you could not have ever imagined that was going on. Okay.
So I have a question before you continue.
Yes.
This sample data model you showed us now, I'm just
Yes.
wondering, from a practical point of view, is this something you create?
No, most time you don't create it, right? You don't create it, it already exists. Your own job is to go and connect from the different sources and pull them together as one.
So my question is basically, because you source for this data, right? You source for it for probably different people. You might need to go to the sales team, you might need to go to the procurement, those different
the different departments, exactly.
So I'm just wondering, would you have created it at least to know what to approach them to provide to you?
Beautiful. Yes. So that is why you will need to draw this diagram first of all. You know what the problem is it not? You have certain questions you want to ask, isn't it?
Yes.
So to answer it, you need certain data. So where do I get this data from? Okay, I need it from HR department. I need it from procurement. I need it from logistics. I need it from marketing, is it not? So I will
Yeah.
now build that schema. Do you see that? I'll build that schema. You know, in the context of database, right? We'll call it entity relationship diagram or entity diagram, right? Which is just like a visual representation of the relationships among the tables you need. Isn't it? When you now put it in this form, like this, is not when you have drawn it in this form, it's what we now call a star schema, right? Which shows the relationship among what the databases or the data warehouse that you need, right? Which again is that process of creating it is what we refer to as what the data model.
Okay.
Do you get? So you first of all have drawn this thing first. So it gives you an idea of the data that you need and how they are related. Do you get? So that's how you'd have done it. In practice, though, that just when you are training, most time you just give you one file like this. But most time the data does not just come from one place; it comes from different places. But you need to see how they are connected. That's the essence of this.
Okay.
So just like the question I asked, how well do we sell when it rains? When it rains. So the question now is that if you look at it normally, you cannot imagine how well you sell when it rains. You only think, I think we sell. Do you get? But the data can tell you a different story. Is it not? The data can tell you the different story. Okay. So which means you don't need to be able to dimension it. So that your sales, you want to dimension it. Right? You want to break it down further. All right. So which data do we now require to answer that question? How well do we sell when it rains? So which data do we need? What data do we need? What data do we need?
Excluding ones you mentioned already.
Yes. So if we are to draw an entity relationship diagram for it, right? So how will we draw it? How well do we sell when it rains? So what are the data that we require? So let me take this out. So what are the data we require? So what data do we require?
Dates.
We need
Sales.
what? Now you see, date in itself, what data do we require? Data are just the attributes now.
Okay.
But we need to connect the tables or the databases now.
Yes.
So which databases or tables do we require? Yes, we know we need sales, is it not? We need sales.
Yes.
Right? Sales table. Right? Which other one? Or sales database.
Sales.
Then under this one now, what are the fields that we require? We need dates, is it not? We need what again?
Okay. Yes.
Time. Let's say we need what again?
Months. No, dates, time.
Yeah, we need date, time. What again do we need? Yes, what again do we need under your sales? I think just to get from your own organization now, when we are selling now, what are those things that we see in our sales table? What are those items we normally have? Yes.
Products.
Products. Okay, the products we sell. Okay, freelance products. What again? You know that this product on its own, it can stay on its own, though. Do you get? And we also have connect our sales with our product table.
Okay.
So it can still stay on its own, but if you want to put it there, that's fine. But it can stand on its own. We need things like amounts now, is it not? Or quantity.
Yes.
Is it not?
Quantity, yeah, okay.
So let's say we have this now. So which other table do we require? Which other table do we require? How well do we sell when it rains?
Where do we sell?
So what other data do we require?
Location. Doesn't matter.
Location. Location. Look at it very well now. How well do we sell when it rains? What are the two things that are happening there?
Sales.
Sales
and then the quantity of sales.
Okay.
And then it's looking at the period of time.
So you know what's going on? You are only thinking about it from the internal points within the organization, right? So that you're only thinking about the internal data. But you also need an external data. So which data is that?
Weather.
Weather now, is it not?
Yeah, weather.
Data from what? From maybe weather report or weather, let's say weather reports, isn't it? So what kind of data do we need there? Or columns do we need from it? Or fields do we need from it?
Season. In the season.
Season.
If it's rainy season or dry season.
But that one, you can also classify that. But what is the basic data you will require from it? Yes.
Please, I don't understand the question.
The question is that just the way we have sales table, right? Or sales data, we have date, time, quantity, amount, right? So what are the fields we also have in our weather data?
Temperature.
You can have temperature. Yes, you can have temperature. What again? What again? Temperature, what again? Yes, what again? Temperature. Is that the main? Time, is it not? It can also be your dates or time, is it not?
Time is not part.
Is that what? Yes, you can have date or time, is it not? So we can even take here as dates. You can even here have as time. What again? Temperature, any other thing? What again? What's now the major one again, apart from the date or time? There's another one again. And what's that? The amount of rain, is it not?
Okay.
Is it not? That has fallen now. So the rainfall recorded, isn't it? So what's now the relationship now between your weather report and your sales report or sales data?
Date and time.
The date and time, is it not? So we can now what? So which one will be our primary key now? Which will be our primary key?
Date.
Date will now become our what? Primary what? Key, isn't it?
Yes.
It will now be our primary key. So how do we connect sales data with weather data now? How do we connect it? How do we connect it?
With
Do you see any relationship between your sales, right, and weather? And weather. Is there any relationship between them?
the date.
The date, isn't it? So for you to see this relationship, you will use what? The date, isn't it?
Yeah.
So weather and sales, which is the dimension table and which is the fact table?
Weather is the dimension table.
Weather is the dimension, while sales is what?
In fact.
Your fact. That is all. So that is how you can connect seemingly unrelated data together. So that's the essence of your data modeling. Does that make sense? Same thing with your COVID data, isn't it? How well do we say when there was COVID, isn't it? At what time? If, for example, even look at it, let's say, you know how cost of maybe diesel has gone up now, right? So sometimes you now ask yourself, okay, how do I know at what point, when do customers now come in? When do they start coming in? And when are we running generator all through? Because if we started from 8 till 5 and customers start coming maybe by 10 or 11, it means that, except you are into production, but if you are not into production, then from that 8 to this, you can identify at what time, isn't it? So time itself again can be a data that you can now use to what? Connect with your what? Customers. Okay, so you can somehow connect and see seemingly unrelated data. Okay, and try to what? Connect them together. So that's the essence of what? Understanding what? Data what? Model. Is that clear? Are we clear with this?
Yes.
Clear? All right, so let's try and build this in Power BI. Okay, let's try and build this in Power BI. So let's do it in practice now and see how it works. So let me use, so where do I have that data? Okay, Superstore. Superstore. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, okay. So Superstore, Superstore. Okay, order. So let's go.
Dr. Francis, the Superstore file you're using.
Yes.
Please, can you send it?
Okay, I should send the Superstores. Okay. Okay. All right, so let me close that and send to you. Superstores, okay. We say it's currently in use. Superstore 1. All right, check if you have gotten it now.
Yes.
Okay. But can you see my Power Query screen now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let me just take out this one. Okay, so let's look at it. So we can see the data now, right? So what we want to do, we want to maybe break it into how many tables? 4 tables. So I will duplicate it. Duplicate. Duplicate. And duplicate. Okay. So maybe one I can have maybe customers table. Another one I can have maybe product table. Another one I can have maybe geography table, and the other one I can have my others table.
Why are you breaking it? I thought you've done it before in Excel and you load it.
No. I want to show you how it's done in Power BI.
Oh,
Or is it possible to do it on Excel?
But Excel is it's just manual now.
Okay.
Because it's also a form of also cleaning and transforming your data, right? But we'll now see how you will now do the connection. All right.
but on a normal day, right? You will not have it in one file because if I have it,
you will not. You will not have
why
it.
am I doing modeling?
Yeah.
Now I'm just wondering if I have it in one file like this, then there's no need of doing any.
No, you don't need. No, there's no need to do the modeling. No, that will make life easy for you now. But in practice, never that way.
Oh.
Do you get? It's usually not in the. You don't usually have it in one place like that.
No, but if it's in one place, all you have to do is just take out the duplicates, right?
Yes, now no. If it's just one place, you don't even take any. No, you don't even need to take out duplicates now.
Okay.
You just use data as it is.
Yeah, that's true. You don't need to look up into anything.
No, you don't do anything.
Okay.
It's just that most times the data is not in one place. It's not from one source. If they have already done it for you and given it to you in that flat file, life becomes easy for you. Just work with it, right? But imagine the situation now. Management is now saying, "Oh, you are noticing that whenever it rains, we do not make sales." It's not. We want to ask the question of why. Where do you have sales data? Do you have a weather data in your organization?
No.
Do you have you have to go and source for it, is it not? And connect it with the one you already have. Okay, which means you can source for data within the organization, is it not? Across the different departments or different business units, is it not? Or you can what? Source for data externally and connect it with your internal data. So that's the essence of your data modeling. So you are now building that schema of what it's going to look like. All right, can we make progress? Can we continue now?
Yes.
So under customers table, what are the important columns that we require? So I'll come to choose columns. So I'll select them. So what do I want? Customer ID, customer name, and segment, isn't it? I'll click OK, isn't it? Can we have duplicates in this table? Can we have duplicates?
No.
We can't have duplicates, right?
Yeah.
So I'll right click and say remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. Can you see that? So duplicates are gone. So go to the next.
Can you do that again? The remove duplicates.
Look at it now. I just right click. Remove duplicates. Can you see that?
Okay.
Remove duplicates.
So the duplicate not required is a duplicate primary key.
Yes, exactly. Because it must have a unique identifier.
Okay.
Yes. Because when you're dealing with databases, did you guys discuss on data normalization?
Not
Where you
sure.
talked about first order form, second order form. Did you talk about it? Data normalization.
Maybe I missed that, but I can't remember.
It's just a way of eliminating data to avoid redundancy, right? So you just reduce the data in its barest form, okay? So that's why you have what they call the first normal form, second normal form, third normal form. But although it can get more advanced to even 6 normal form, okay? But the first normal form is saying that every table must have a unique identifier, isn't it? Every table must have what? A unique, which means every table must have a primary key. So whenever you say a table has a primary key, because of data normalization, first normal form, that's why it has it. Okay. The second normal form say it must first of all meet first normal form. And what is first normal form? What was the first normal form saying?
Must have a unique identifier.
Must have a unique identifier, is it not? And every record must be, so second one say every record must be unique. So if you are merging anything, you must what? Duplicate it. Rather than you merging it, you what? Duplicate it, because every record must have its own one, must be unique. So it must stay on its own row. Right? And that's why again, if you now have to now connect it to another table, that now leads to what? Your foreign key. Okay. Then your third normal form is just saying that there should be no transitive dependency. That means no two columns should be related. If they are related, just separate it to another place. So you can now relate it to another table. So that's what exactly is just saying. So it's because of that, your data normalization that will lead us to this, our data modeling. So that what guides us. All right, so for product table, so what do we need for product table? So I can show you another way of doing it. So for product table, we need, for example, product ID, category to product name, isn't it? Is that not what we need?
Yes.
So I can just right click and say, remove other columns. Can you see that? Remove other columns. That's another way of doing it. Remove other columns, okay? Can we have any duplicates here?
Possibly.
In your product
No.
ID? No. So what do we do? Remove duplicates. So we're done. I've removed duplicates there. Can we see
Sorry,
that?
you're too fast.
It's what we have done before now. Okay, so which part is not clear?
What you selected? You say you selected how you did order.
Okay, I selected product ID to product name. Is it not? I right click and say remove other columns. I'm just showing you a different way. We have shown it before now.
So it removes column either to the right or left. That is not part of the selected.
Yes. So remove, you can say remove columns, and we can say remove other columns.
Yeah.
Or choose columns. That's why I say this is also part of teaching you data cleaning. Okay. All right. Is this clear now? Then I can now remove duplicates. Remove duplicates. Great. Are you okay with this now?
Yes.
All right, good. So let's go to geography. So what are the columns that we need in geography now? Choose columns. So I can select that. So I can take what? Country, city, state, postal code, region, isn't it? Is that not it? Which is our primary key here?
We haven't created it yet.
So we have seen that postal code cannot be our primary key. So what do? We want to what? Merge them together, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'll take this column and take this column. Can you see that? I will right click and say what? Merge columns. So I can call it what? City code. Can you see that now? City code.
Wouldn't it have been better to put dash?
If you want to put dash, but just be careful how you do it. Do you get? So if I put it like this and say, okay, merge columns. So what do you want? You want to put dash where?
Between
No.
the two, so it makes it look more tidy.
Okay, put dash there like this. So I'll call it city code. Like this now, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Please take note. It's how you have merged it. If you go and merge code city, it's a different thing, you know. So that you must know the order in which it follows.
Yeah, but even if you use code city, it's still the same.
No, they are not the same thing, no.
No, they are not the same thing, but it's still a unique key. That's what I'm trying to
Yes,
say.
there's still a unique key. What I'm just saying that, you know, you as a human being are seeing it as the same thing. But Power BI does not see it as the same thing, no. Do you get? Because 9023 Los Angeles is different from Los Angeles 9023.
I know.
So I'm just saying the way you have done it in one, that's exactly what you do it in the other place. Okay. So what do we do next? What do we do next? We right click and say what? Remove duplicates. Are we clear with this? Is this clear now?
Yes.
All right. So you see, this your customer table, is it not? Is a dimension. So you see sometimes you put dim. I'm sure some places, have you ever seen this where they put dim like this? They put dim. What does that dim stand for?
Dimension.
That's a dimension. Why others they call it what? Facts. Is it not? So under our others table, so you can say choose columns. So what are the columns I need? Maybe ordered ID, order date, ship mode, ship. What again do I need? Sales quantity, discount, profit. Is there another thing that I need? Is there another? I need
Primary
what?
keys,
Yes. Which ones now?
customer ID,
I need customer ID.
product ID,
Product
I need
ID.
product ID. What again do I need?
post, our city code,
Our postal code and what city?
city. Yes.
Is it not?
Yes.
So I'll click OK. Can you see that? I'll click OK. Now, how did we merge it? Was it postal code city or city postal code? Which one?
City post code.
City postal.
All right. So I'll right click and say merge columns. You know, so somebody said we have to use what? A separator, the hyphen, is it not? I will
Yes.
call it what? City code. Isn't it? So I will confirm geography, city code, Henderson 4240, isn't it? Where is it? Henderson 4240. Okay. Now, in this your fact table, can there be duplicates?
Yes.
Can we have duplicates here? Yes.
Yes. There can be, except for the unique ID, the primary key.
They can be for all of them.
They can be for
Even primary key.
Yes.
Okay.
Because one customer can buy many times.
Yes, sure.
Isn't it? So it can happen many times. So it's in that fact table that has many, that's the many. But your dimension table, that's where you have the one. So that's the one-to-many relationship. So once you are done with this, you are good to go. So just make sure you check that all the, what they call it, all the data types correspond, right? You check that all the data types correspond.
If it doesn't, what will happen?
You correct that now, you fix it up. You fix it up. You fix mix it up. All right, good. I think we are good to go. Isn't it? So once we are done with that, close and apply. Close and apply. So you are going to see that it's going to be building. Can you see that it's loading your model, loading to model? Can you see that? Loading to model. So you can see your 4 tables now, isn't it? Customer, geography, orders, product, isn't it? So this is normally your what? Report view. This is your what? Data view, isn't it? Where you're going to be seeing the data itself, right? Why here is going to be your what? Model. Can you see that's your model? This way you're going to be seeing your model. Can you see that schema that we drew?
Yes.
Can you see the schema that we drew? So you now have to what? Arrange it properly the way you want it, is it not? So this is what referred to as what? I'm sure you have been seeing pictures like this now. Where they will draw a relationship like this, is it not? So can you read it now? This is 1 to what?
Many.
1 to many. Can you see star? That star represents what?
Many.
Many. 1 to many. Is it not? 1 to many. 1 to many. That is why I can come to my report view. I can come to maybe segments. Can you see segments now? And I'll come to my orders table, come to maybe sales and put it here, isn't it? And I can easily what? Visualize it. Okay, let me take profit. If sales is not, okay, let me take profit. Good. Do we see that now? I can come to where now? I can come to my geography, maybe by region. Then I'll take my profits and put it there. Can we see that now? Now, you see, this just looks straightforward, isn't it? But let's say for is it?
So it looks so easy.
It looks so easy, but not as straightforward. Now, let's say, for example, now, right? Let's look at the relationship between, what's the relationship between your customer and your orders table? What's the relationship?
And your orders what?
Your customer and orders table. What's the relationship between them?
Customer ID.
Customer ID. Let's say, for example, now we now remove this relationship now. So you see, there's no relationship here, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, let's go back. Let's go back now. Let's run it again. Segments. These are your segments. Let's go to our what? Profits and put profit there. Right? So let's put in the table. What do you notice in the table? What do you notice?
There's no relationship.
That's the total is the same for everything, is it not?
Yes.
So the moment you have this, what's the problem there?
There's no relationship.
There's no what relationship. So what do? I'll go back to the model, is it not? And
Yes.
say, oh, you people are not married though. Please go and marry. So who will you marry now? You carry it to where? Customer ID. Can you see that now? There's now what? A relationship. So let me go back there and check. Can you see that now? You know, when it was on a flat file, you take it for granted that I just drag and drop and it's doing calculation for you. But because there's already a relationship established, inherently there's a relationship established. But when you pick it from different tables, you are the one that must establish the relationship. It doesn't just go automatically. Okay? Sometimes it can detect it automatically, sometimes it may not. So you now need to understand that. So if I come to my properties, let's say if I come to properties now, right? Can you see that now? This is your fact table. Can you see that? Can you see when you say cardinality, what does cardinality mean? When you say cardinality, what does that mean? It's your relationships. Can you see the relationship?
Yeah.
Many to one, one to one, one to many, many to many. Which one are we looking for?
One to many.
One to many.
Either many to one or one to many, either of them. But we don't want situation of one to one, one to many, because once that happens, you may not be easily what? know which values is taking because you cannot rely on it. Okay, so that's why as much as possible you avoid many to many relationship. Okay, so it's just like even looking at this. Let's look at this customer and product. Let's say customer and product. Okay, so let's take, for example, let's go to customer. Let's take segments, right? Let's go to, okay, geography. Let's take region. Is there any relationship between them? Is there any relationship between them?
No.
There's no relationship, is it not?
Yes.
So it's just, that's why I see just like duplicating them for you. Okay. Let's say, for example, I now come here and take my sales and put here. Let me put it in table form. Can you see what is going on there? So it's arranging it, right? Because there's a relationship between one of them.
Yeah.
But now, let's remove that your sales. Let's just take only your, what do they call it now? Let's take only the segments and let's take the region, okay? Segment and region. Now let's look at it now, segment and region. So let's go here. If you come to the relationship, do you notice that there's no relationship between your customer table and your geography table? Do you see that? There's no relationship. Yeah. Now, the only thing we can do, take note, do you notice that it's filtering it in one direction?
Yeah.
From where? Geography towards others,
yes.
Or from customer towards this. So what I want to do, I'll come to properties and say make the cross filter direction, both direction. Can you see that? In both sides now. So that means this guy can filter here and this guy can filter here. Which means if I want to filter from customer towards geography, I will go from customer through what?
Order.
Through this.
Order.
Can you see that? So I'm using an indirect relationship. Do you see that? I'm using what? An indirect what? Relationship. So if I decide to now say, okay, let me do a count. Let me do a count. So where is that? So let's say I do a count. Now, can you see that if you pick it now? Do you see that if you count it normally now? Before, it would have given you the same total all through. But now it can filter it for you. Do you see that? So that's what they call a cross-directional. But most time you may not necessarily need it. But if you absolutely require it, then you can do that. Okay.
So we have to do it manually by ourselves?
Yes, you have to do that by yourself. If you have to do that cross filtering.
Do you have to do it on both sides, like on the from the customer side too as well?
No, you only do one, just one alone. So
One
that
side, okay.
Any other one can pick it indirectly.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. So that's it about data modeling. It is a very important concept you must understand. And remember again, do you know what this one does? In SQL, what do you do with this? Which syntax represents this in SQL? In SQL, which syntax represents this thing that we have done?
Relationship diagram.
Yes, but the syntax.
Oh.
Inner join.
That's your join, exactly. That's your joins. Your inner join, to be specific. What you are seeing here is actually inner join. Do you remember it? Select these columns, is it not? From this table, is it not? Inner join this table on this table equal to this table. Do you remember that syntax? That is a way of what representing it, what using what your diagram. That's why data modeling is very critical for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have another session I have to join, so let me quickly run and join them.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so please try and practice what we have done so far. Then also look at other data sets where you can be learning these joins and data modeling. All right.
Okay,
so
sir.
See you guys next week. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye.